Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another cast here. Right now, we are in, I think, a Masters game. I want to say a Masters game right now. So, we got a matchup here. We got on the blue side, we have in the top lane a Jax who's going to face off versus a Warwick. Jungle will be Graves versus a Lee Sin. Middle will be Echo against Galio. Well, we do see the blue team going for a rotation. Looking for the red buff, a nice sweet invade. Both sides are looking towards an invade as it looks like right now, but I would say there's a high advantage for the blue side with this invade. Okay, red is just going to go for the invade themselves, but side recalling. They are looking for a fight. And since we do have the bot lane not mentioned yet, we have an Ezreal and a Thresh versus Soraka and an Ashe. Soraka and Ashe have it. Right now it looks like we are slowly moving towards the ADC meta where the bot role does have exhaust instead of, for example, here Galio goes in, gets a good 3-man taunt. That is a nice knockout. First one goes down with the Thresh. There is a lot of damage still being put out there. Echo comes in from the backline looking for the Galio, gets ignite. The Echo does get ignited. Can he get out of there? He takes a lot of damage from the Ashe. The Graves does get the kill. Ashe does grab the Echo as well. Soraka is dropping dangerously slowly. Sin gets out of there. But Soraka looks like Soraka is the next victim in this match. Graves gets exhausted. Ashe is looking for an escape. They're exhausted now from the Ezreal. Lee Sin is still close by. There goes the Ashe. Lee Sin looks to be the next victim. Soraka is now backing off, trying to get out of there alive, but is still being chased by the Ezreal. Ezreal is looking for another hit here. Can he get another shot? No, there's a silence, and that saves her life, actually. Meanwhile, Graves is still being chased by the Lee Sin. Graves is dangerously low, gets found now by the Thresh. Graves claims that kill as well, and this is not what I think the red side had in mind. We do see the Graves sitting on the side looking to jump over, gets actually over there, gets a second kill on the Graves, and that means a really nice advantage there. We do see Galio and Echo brawling it out in the mid lane, and maybe we will now go to the peaceful phase. The taunt doesn't work this time for the Galio, and Echo just jumps in there, tries to get some more damage onto the Galio. But this is a rough beginning, I would say. Graves already can make the finish off the blade. Is pretty far on the jungle item already. Ezreal's taking a lot of damage here. Both sides are playing pretty aggressive this matchup already. Ezreal a slight advantage thanks to the 2 kills and being able to stay on lane, while Ashe did die in that first brawl. Echo will go back. That should be at least the tier. I'm probably even thinking this could be... I know it's going to be the tier. I don't know if there's going to be more for this Ezreal. Meanwhile, Graves is still far ahead. No Executioner's Sword, actually, first. It's a good option for an Ezreal because of the Soraka, but Echo's going in there. The Lee Sin. The Lee Sin gets a good hit on there. Galio gets a nice taunt off there. They can go... They don't decide to go back in. Meanwhile, top lane, Jax goes in on the Warwick, gets a stun off with his Counter-Strike there, but can't take advantage of that one. As I said, the Executioner Sword does make sense in the direction of stopping the heals that Soraka will get. But on the other side, it's not that big of a damage improvement that would warrant that as a first back item. There's the teleport in from the Warwick. Counter-Strike from Jax. Gets a good Counter-Strike off there. Jax now trying to find a way out of there. Warwick gets a good bite out of there, but goes too far in. Gets a tower shot there. Has to hit the fear. And now he has to be very careful of the next Counter-Strike. If he does that wrong, Jax can just take advantage of that completely. Meanwhile, CS aren't that... There's the jump. There's the Counter-Strike. This will not be Warwick, actually. I thought that could have killed Warwick. Warwick's still in there. There is now that one, and Jax does go out of this fight with the win. Did take him a bit more than I thought it would, but still an advantageous moment here. Gotta say, the only really interesting two rune, three sort of runes I would say on either side would be top. The Grasp of the Undying Warwick is a really interesting choice. I know it can work quite well, especially if you're top, but right now it feels weird. Then we have the Dark Harvest Galio. Galio can go with Dark Harvest, but I feel like Galio is more of a tank than really being that what they want instead of a DPS, so that's why I would say Dark Harvest is not that good. It's only unfortunately that hook missed from Thresh. There's the lantern being thrown out there. Ezreal now comes in as well. Ashe is dropping dangerously low. She is almost out of here. Goes down. Now we see Galio moving in there. Can the Ezreal get out of this dodge situation? But unfortunately, there's the taunt, the knockout, the Q as well. Ezreal's dropping to dangerously low. Gets taken down by Galio, who get a Dark Harvest tech. Can they get more out of this one? Meanwhile, on the top side, we do have the fight here. We do see Warwick and Lee Sin trying to find a fight. Galio actually gets the kill onto the Thresh. Warwick is in a tough spot. He does get the ultimate off on to the Graves, kills the Graves. Meanwhile, we do have the Jax who's still running around, just slapping him down. That will probably be his life. There comes the Echo and grabs the kill for that one. So, right now, Red does have a few good plays. The problem is just the early stage where we had this constant fighting that just cost the red team so much right now, as we can see in this case. Otherwise, I feel like this could still be a close game. Just waiting on this to move forward. We do see... Oh, that was a nice hit actually from the Echo. Can't really take much advantage either from that one. And Ashe is finally ahead in CS after Ezreal's unfortunate death there. Echo in the mid lane is doing fabulous for himself. That is no issue whatsoever. On the other side, we do see this one going out. Graves claims the Drake for his team, so that helps him out immense. There is the Lee Sin going in. Ezreal jumping actually into the back. This is not a fight the red team wants to take. They don't have a really high HP Zaraka, so heals are mainly out of question. But no worries, they just do what they can. Target plates haven't been really touched this matchup yet. Nope, not at all. Ezreal now trying to change that one. Thresh did get the stopwatch. And we see a slight advantage still on the blue side. And now we see... And yeah, that's the kind of thing we have to keep an eye out for. I would say Jax is doing a really good job trying to keep the Warwick as much out of the wave as he can right now. Goes in there, gets a good hit off there, but can't really do much with that one. Nice hook from the Thresh. Ashe is dropping dangerously low. Does get the Thresh. There, I'm waiting for the Ezreal that isn't coming. It's been used actually already, so unfortunate for that one. Oh, Warwick and Jax are just going at it. Both are pretty low there. Warwick will get the advantage, but unfortunately Graves comes around there. Warwick now has to flee out of this fight, otherwise that would have been it. Echo trying to cap the reinforcements. We see Graves rounding around. Lee Sin is pretty low, so that's not really a good option. We do see them going in now, getting the taunt onto the Graves, and he bites the dust. We do now see the Echo coming around there. Lee Sin looking for an option. They do get the ignite off on the Echo. Can they get the taunt off? They don't get the taunt off. That did cost a flash there just to get out of that situation. Echo now goes in onto the Galio. Takes a lot of damage from the Galio, but Galio did the same thing. We have both sides just pacing back and forth right now after this early chaotic start, which benefited the blue team quite a bit. They've been now coming down. This is the power of the shutdown gold, as we can see in this case. We see Ashe is going for the Essence Reaver. Meanwhile, we do know that the Ezreal is going for the Manamune. And then I would say in this matchup, go just for the Trinity. Especially if you're ahead. I would just feel right to go for Trinity. Otherwise, it's just a rough situation. Weird Ezreal there unfortunately goes off the side awry. Didn't even hit the Lee Sin, who I thought it would hit there. But both teams are just trying to macro it out right now. Jax does get a tower plating there, goes for the counter strike. Still finding a way out of there, and there goes the Rift Herald to the graves. And this is just becoming an awkward situation right now for this blue team. They had such a good advantage, and they can't really take advantage of that in any way, shape, or form right now. They lost a lot of gold, and now we see a rotation towards the bot side. We do see a nice crystal arrow there. Galio can't reach, but Ashe has enough damage to just take down the Ezreal there. Unfortunately, Warwick did pick a fight on the other side. Lee Sin goes for a tower dive, takes down the Thresh as well, and now this will be turret platings. Now it's a race. But there is a Shelly on the top side, which will win the race for blue team. Red team has a good team fight. Blue team plays the better objectives. That's what I've been seeing out of this matchup yet. And I think this will be keeping up that way. And there's a teleport on the side. Who is coming in? The Echo is coming in. Ashe is looking for an escape there. There is the Thresh, who's just been taken out of commission by the Lee Sin. Jax has finished the Blade of the Rune King. The top tier 2 turret is in danger right now. Drake is the next objective that will be on the cards. And right now, blue side is just pressuring forward as much as they can. It's not really it's more how Graves is playing this right now than anywhere else. Galio is overextending a bit his aggression, which that did cost him quite a bit, to be honest. And we see both teams just setting up for the Drake. Cloud Drake will be the next fought about objective if the red team decides to go for this one. On the other hand, it could just be an easy take for the blue side, as it looks like right now. Lee Sin looking for a chance to steal, but unfortunately the Drake is already gone. Soraka gets hooked there. There's the lantern throw. Graves is in there now. Ultimate from Soraka has to be thrown out there. Galio goes in. Unfortunately, Jax comes out from the side, and Galio just melts down to that one. And this is not how you want to go about this. This will probably be the next turret. We do see Graves now pressuring the Lee Sin as well. Not much can be done about that. Tier 1 mid turret is the next victim of this one. Nice crystalline arrow once again. Can the Ashe fall? The Ashe falls actually. Lee Sin looking for the Ezreal, but can't do anything about it. Graves is there as well, and Ezreal claims that kill as well. And now we're in a dangerous territory for the red team. Their team fight is not working out in their case. They're getting caught off one by one. Soraka is once again taken down by the Jax, who is still roaming free. They got the top turret. Warwick is just farming up top. Warwick can't really go in because he doesn't have what he needs to really contest this. He has a Tiamat to help himself farm. But for team fights, the Tiamat won't help him 1 second. Warwick's taking a lot of turret shots. He can count himself lucky that the Ezreal ult is still on cooldown. This otherwise could cost him his life. Ezreal should finish off the Manamune. I would say Black Cleaver is on the Graves already. I'm waiting for the Ezreal buy, because that could be just a big spike. There is the Manamune. Finishes the boot as well. Titanic Hydra is now done on Warwick. This could really mean a lot. Throws back the lantern, but nobody is there to take the lantern. Graves is looking for another fight with Lee Sin. Lee Sin doesn't want any of it. Unfortunately for him, there is the Echo as well. Crystalline arrow onto the Thresh. So much aggression just for this Thresh, who is not really he is a part of how his team is winning with the hooks he's been having, and how he brought Ezreal a lot of times into the fight without forcing him to flash or anything. But on the other side, it just doesn't feel like that's the right move, just to go for this arrow onto the Thresh. Both teams just farming up. Good distance right now. We do see Ezreal trying to extend it. As I said, my guess would be the next item will be a Trinity Force for the Ezreal, just to push himself forward further. Because yes, the Warwick, yes, the Ashe, they're threats for him. But I would say with his damage he has right now, he doesn't need to grab the Iceborne Gauntlet. Right now we do see Thresh and Graves sitting in the red jungle there. Do have to give up the blue buff there. Galio goes in, tries to get a taunt, 2 flashes for us. Their teleport is coming in. This could be really a bad situation right now for red side, but it was not that much. We do see Jax going into the back there, now chasing. 3 men are chasing this one Ezreal. Ezreal's showing a lot what he can do. Gets kicked out in the back. Gets actually out of that situation. Unfortunately, gets hit by the taunt. Now their Echo and Jax are still survivors here for the blue side. Warwick goes in, tries to force his way through. Galio is the first one to fall for this one. We do see Echo jump back there. There's still a chance for them to go in. They're not really too sure if they want to keep this pressure up, but they're still going for this. And that will probably be the end of the chase. Still, it's just a slight advantage. Right now it's quite back and forth. We do see about 17 minutes. We about 2.4k up, yeah. Round about that one. 2.4k up for the blue side. They have 2 Drakes. They got 1 tower more. And they have 1 kill more. And in CS, the Echo is further than Galio, but Galio is supposed to just take and absorb so much damage that will be put out on the team and just hold them into a situation where you just want to have the Ashe going through this. Lee Sin now grabbed the Umbral Glaive. Makes sense to clear out wards. Still is still a bit of a dangerous situation. Red team will want to contest this Drake. They don't want to be put onto the 1 Drake limit. If they lose 1 fight around a Drake, then they would have to face the Soul. But there's not many chances. Box has been put up here. We do see them going in. We do see Warwick going on there. The Drake goes to the Graves. There is a big fight still going on. There is 1 death. The Warwick went down in that fight. And now the red team is on a really bad timer. Thresh did give his life for the Bach, as we are looking for the Lee Sin. Lee Sin now goes in there, doesn't get the Ezreal. Ezreal's pretty low, gets hit by 1 of the arrows, and that is his life as well. Ezreal now trying to contest here further, goes in on the Ashe. A lot of damage being put on the Ashe. Ashe is showing what she can do, but unfortunately Soraka can't even out-heal that damage that's being put on her. And that is another 1 fight for the blue team. A bit delayed in that case, but it's still 1. We do see the Runaan's Hurricane now on the Ashe. This could be really a big part of this one. Taunt now onto the Jax. Jax is trying to get out of there. Graves is running as well. And we are seeing the Rift Herald still being up. Looks like the blue team want to get a quick pick up on that one. Dean's Unholy Grail on the Soraka. Thresh goes over the wall. Warwick knows what's up. There we have the Galio on the other side. And it looks like this is going to be not the Rift Herald. Jax has the Trinity Force now done as well. But the next team fight will be pretty important for the red side. If they lose this team fight, it will result in a Baron. No matter what happens, it will result in a Baron against them. There's no Drake objective up. The red side is preparing for just that Baron. So that's not what you want to have to happen. Warwick goes in there, gets hit by the counter-strike. We do see Warwick trying to get out of there, gets knocked out of this one. Lee Sin going onto the Ezreal, gets the Ezreal. Jax is still there in this situation, trying to get the Lee Sin, gets a counter-strike stun up. Soraka is the next victim, and Echo is there as well, and there are 3 deaths already, and you can just see them filing for this Baron. Lee Sin is out of commission, Warwick is out of commission. Everybody can really be a big threat for this Baron is right now out of commission. Ezreal did finish the Trinity Force off right now, still has the Executioner Sword, which probably in my case will be the next item. Graves has the Smite ready. We're waiting for the Baron to drop low enough to get that Smite through, and the blue team now have Baron as well. This is just an efficient playstyle that blue team is playing. They've been trading a lot of kills back and forth, which I wasn't too sure about. Galio now with the Lune's Echo. Bit of a questionable item, I would feel like, on a Galio. I would probably go more with Azonias just to get more tanky, but it looks like this Galio is going for the more damage dealing route, which did work a while ago, but right now it just feels a bit lackluster. Still, the biggest problem for them is they need a decent team fight where they can keep the Jax under contention, they can keep the Echo under control, and just be careful about the Graves as well. Galio now jumping back a bit, not to be in too big of a dangerous situation. And we see them, the support Thresh just warding up. Does have a Zeke's conversion, so that's a nice item. About a minute till the next Drake, which is not one red side can give up in any way, shape, or form. This could be... It depends on how many survive right now on the blue team, I would say. If for example, I would say 4 of blue team survive this one, they can just take the game after this one. We do see the ultimate used by Echo, but a nice kick there. Echo has no chance to get out of there. In the meantime, the bot turret is pretty far pushed in. Baron buff, of course, helping, as it is most of the time. About 13 seconds left, and then the next Drake will be up. Lee Sin is alive for this Drake. That could be a really important key, that if Lee Sin can manage to steal an ult, that could be really nice. But unfortunately right now, it's just blue team with the Graves and the Jax sitting on the Drake, just trying to claim it. And not even getting contested. Mountain Soul goes to blue team. And this furthers their advantage even more. Ezreal ult once again just being used for the sake of doing a bit of damage. Bit of a weird spot to say, but it does work out for them. And right now I would say it doesn't really matter that much. We're seeing the push being set up. There should be a team fight soon. I'm seeing how Lee Sin is looking for a grab onto the Ezreal. Ezreal gets kicked back, actually to safety. Unfortunately, Warwick jumps in there, but Thresh is there to think about his teammates. Counter-Strike is being thrown out there. Stunned up, Galio's out of there. Lee Sin is out of there too. Echo was into the back line, and this just doesn't look good right now. We do see Ashe just being jumped on. Gets out of dodge there. Jax is still trying to chase on the Ashe. Meanwhile, Warwick goes down. Soraka is the last victim of this fight. And just look at them trying to push forward now. Baron buff is down right now, but it's still an advantage. They take down the turret. They'll take down an inhibitor. Will they try to end the game? That's the question I have right now. Pushing forward, they get the turret. Turret is pretty low. Turret is out of there. Second Nexus turret is falling. We do have Lee Sin. We do have Galio. Galio is sitting there trying to get in there. Gets hooked off there. Has to jump out of there. Whole team goes onto the Galio. Can't kill him, but the Nexus falls and the blue team wins this one easily. thank you so much for watching this cast. If you want to have your own games cast on this channel, you can send a replay file or video file of the game if there are a few more perspectives than just your own at the email address down below, alenvilcast@gmail.com. And with that, once again, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and goodbye and good night.